you're talking to yourself and you're talking to your biggest enemy, which is your inner voice, right? Most of the times, which is you're not good enough, you can't do this, you will never finish, why you're doing this if you're not like them. All of this comes to your head, and that's the purpose of it, I believe, and that's what makes you really, really, really makes you stronger. Mm-hmm. And not stronger in running, but stronger in life.
Hello and welcome. Today I'm here with Joao. Thank you very much for coming and making the time in your very crazy schedule.
No, thank you. It was a promise, and it was a delayed promise.
Well, we were back and forth for quite some time on this. Joao is physiotherapist and also ultra runner. Yeah? And basically this is what I want to talk about, how you got into it, what it takes, what are the specifics of the preparation, and also, of course, recovery and all that, wherever it will lead us. Tell me how it started. What is your sport background from a kid? Like how you started? You did some sports when you were a kid, or?
Yeah. First of all, thank you for having me. So I always was always active, mainly with football. And honestly, I tried a little bit of everything, and the fact that I did that played a key role into what I do now. In the sense that as a kid, I never wanted to be bad at something, and whenever things got hard, I just give up. So I tried tennis, I tried Aikido, I tried football. I was good, but if I was starting to get into second team, I was like, okay, no, this is not what I want to do. I want to try something different.
Well, how long were these time allocations for that? Like, how long have you been doing these sports for?
So it was mainly when I was very young. I remember when I was very young, so maybe until between 6 and I would say 13.
Okay, I mean, how long you did how long you did Aikido until it went off for you?
That was very young, so maybe it was almost like maybe 1 month, 2 months. Things started to get hard as normal, and I'm like, no, I don't like this as much. Okay. Then was tennis, then it was mainly football was the big thing. It's what it's big in Portugal. So
yeah, so that's our national.
You have to. If you're not a good football player, you're no one. Kind of, but yeah. So that was it. As young, and I think it's important to mention this bit because it will make sense in the ultra running part of it. Okay, then later on, when I finished football, I went to university. I stopped football, started enjoying more studying and partying as well, and running was always there with a little bit of gym. But never anything serious.
So kind of doing it for yourself.
Going
to the track a couple of times a week.
I knew it was important. It's my background. I'm a physiotherapist, so I knew that running was important. Being active was important. Not anything, whatever you want to do, just be active. And mentally, that was helping in stressful times. So it was always there. Mm-hmm. And
did you decide to be physiotherapist because you were involved in sports, or how you got into idea that you want to go this way with your career?
So medicine or veterinary was always something that I've always enjoyed. I didn't really like the medical profession itself because I thought that there's not such a big connection with people, even though you treat people. I never felt that. So there's always a big barrier between the patient and the doctor itself. So I wanted something a little bit more close, where you can have a little bit of more contact, a little bit more
impact as well.
We can all have impact.
Of course.
Yes.
Of course.
But I understand.
Well, I do what I do for similar reason. Yeah.
Yes. So physiotherapy was there. And I got exposed with physiotherapy because the first time I was exposed to physiotherapy was my brother had the ACL tear, and I actually remember going to one of his sessions, and I was like, okay, this is fun, and this could be interesting, having someone coming from not being able to walk to be able to go back to sports again, because it was football in this case.
It feels like magic sometimes, right? When you see where people were and what you can do with them.
Yes, you can really influence life quality, and if their clients are willing to. So
very good point.
So it can be very rewarding. I think it's very rewarding. We shouldn't say that it's not for us. That's a little bit of a selfish feeling, but I want to feel rewarded for the work that I do, of course, and yeah, it can be very, 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 very good.
But it goes together, right? Because you only feel rewarded if you did the good job. So
100%, and you actually feel bad if you don't.
You should.
Yeah. If you don't get the results, you'd end up thinking about it. Well, I do. And when I don't get the results that I'm expecting, not that I want, that I'm expecting, I go home and I think, okay, where can I improve?
Yeah,
but I think that's the key.
Yeah. Well, that's how you learn, right?
For anything in life. Yeah.
Always. When you mentioned your brother had an ACL tear, so the sport was a big thing in your family as well. You have an older brother?
Older brother. He always played football since I remember. And so, it was always there. My father also played football, not professionally, but he played. I remember he played. Sports is always there. So it was always present. Friends, family, we always get together to play in the weekends, and that was always present. Yeah, so it was easy to continue.
All right.
Running only came though a little bit later, more serious, around maybe I was 20 and 21. So I was starting to run a little bit more. Never officially in races, but I was running for myself as kind of meditation, where you can go for a run and you can think a lot and not think about anything at all at the same time. And that was the magic of it.
Mm-hmm. When you were doing the running, there wasn't like an underlying purpose of, okay, so if I do, let's say, these specific intervals, I get better at football, or supporting discipline?
No, it was never. It was only for my personal well-being. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was the main.
That turned out to be pretty important part of your life.
100%. 100%.
So how it evolved that you got from this? So you're, let's say, 20. You start running more. You're studying, I assume, at that moment. Yeah.
So when I started working in Portugal, we were working very long hours. So if you want, in my situation, doesn't mean that it's for everyone, but in my situation, if you want to be successful or have some financial tranquility, you have to work long hours. And so I was having almost 2 jobs. So the sports was the only thing that I had to just give it a little bit of peace of mind. So I always did gym or running. So running was very easy. When I moved to Dubai, I decided, okay, you like to do this, you have the time to do it, and this is one thing that is going to help you because you're going to come alone for now. So this is something that you can hold on to make it easier. Mm-hmm. And that's when it started a little bit more serious. And with people at work, with friends that I've been meeting. And so I signed up for the first half marathon after 6-7 months in Dubai, and I passed out.
What?
Yeah, this is a very good story, but
okay, go on.
Yeah, so first half marathon, I trained by myself. I was really not ready in terms of nutrition, hydration. I felt that I was like, I can do anything.
Okay, so you were running just for fun.
Yes.
Then you come to Dubai and you decide you want to do it a little bit more on a higher level.
Yes.
For, let's say, competition, events.
Yeah, 100%. So then I started doing by myself, and I built up to it. I did a very good job, in terms of preparing myself to it. But naively, I would just think, okay, I don't need anyone to help. I don't need to know about nutrition. I don't need to know about hydration. It was a very hot day. October, started late, the race. And by the end, I finished and I woke up in an ambulance. So
you finished?
Well, I don't remember.
Really? Seriously?
Honestly.
Oh, wow.
The last 500 meters, it's a blackout.
Well, that's a tiny portion of.
Well, I still don't remember finishing it. So it was a shock. Honestly, it was like, what the hell is happening? So I signed up for another one the week after. I'm like, so I'm going to do it again because I want to remember. And I did it, and I finished, and I remember, of course, in a way worse time, of course.
You did something differently for the... Well, you had the 1 week, so you're probably not even running.
I was destroyed. I was destroyed. My body was still very, very, very tired. And it definitely was not the wise thing to do, as I would say. Not wise, but... I was not ready to do or to race another half marathon because the first one I raced. I had a clear objective. I want to run a sub-5 half marathon, sub-5 minutes per kilometer half marathon. That was my goal. So, how
you came up with this goal? Like you just Googled it somewhere, or like did you were training at that kind of pace?
Yes.
Or?
So I was preparing myself to that kind. I set myself a goal. So like if you run a half marathon, I would say that you should be racing it. I don't want to just finish it. Okay. When comes the very competitive part of it. So I don't want to just finish it. So I just want to really go there and give the best that I can. And that best that I can, I imagine that will be a 5 minute per kilometer pace. I did it. It was very hard. And well, as it turned out to be, but I prepared myself to it. I finished it. I was 2.5 minutes over the time, which was not horrendous. So it was. I was still happy.
Mm-hmm. Well, except of the part that you
don't remember.
Yeah, and you ended up in the hospital. Well, so
I finished it. I stopped the watch. I closed the race on my watch. It was one friend of mine was watching. He's like, "Okay, you finished," and the next moment he looked. Well, that's his words. I don't know. Mm-hmm. Those are his words. So he looked to the side. When he looked back, I was in a chair, collapsed, and surrounded by two medical supports, two medical doctors, two medical professionals, and then they took me to the ambulance.
And how long you had to stay in the hospital?
I didn't go to the hospital.
Well, they treated you on the spot.
Yeah, so it was over. It was probably because of the heat. It was
okay. Yeah. That's not that bad.
No.
I mean, no. Well, I thought you like end up on some.
No.
ICU.
I didn't know what happened because it was kind of weird because I couldn't speak English. That was the weirdest part. I could understand English, but I couldn't replicate. And I couldn't answer, so I could only speak in Portuguese, and that made it difficult. And the guys didn't want to let me go out of the.
No shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Two poor medical guys trying to understand it.
Yeah. And I couldn't tell them that I also know about the risk. I know. Okay, tell me. I just want to know. Okay, tell me what happened. Like, you want to take me to the hospital, and I don't know what happened. I don't feel any pain. Like, what happened? Did I fell down, hit my head, I had a concussion? What happened? But I couldn't communicate. So that was very, very, very complicated. And as soon as I told them, okay, they understood that I was going to stand up. And I stood up and I started hitting the ground with my legs to say, okay, did you break anything? Like trying to touch, trying to feel, like, because I don't feel anything. Like,
because you had like that blacked out window.
Yeah. I was like, I don't know what happened. And then came a guy that would speak Portuguese. I told him, like, look, what happened? And I talked to him in Portuguese. He translates. He's like, no, you just sat and collapsed. And I'm like, so I'm fine. So it was probably like dehydration or a heat stroke or sugar or whatever it was. Like,
everything together.
Or everything together, yeah, probably. And that was it. And then I was like, okay, so I don't need to go to the hospital. I'm fine. I don't have a concussion. I don't have anything broken. I just need to eat. And well,
all right. When you're saying that before you were like running and you were doing gym, what you were doing in the gym, was it also just anything random?
No, I had a program that I was creating. I was doing it to myself and was based on back and legs, upper body, lower body, but nothing specific for running.
So that wasn't targeted for running as well? Okay,
no.
Completely
Always,
different thing, just to move different
good.
way.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so and the next half marathon, what was the pace there a week after?
It was horrible. No, okay, not horrible. It was very slow.
Well, given the circumstances.
Slightly under 2 hours. So I think it was 1 hour 57. So I lost 14 minutes, 13 minutes off. But I finished in a really bad state. My calves were cramping. It was not a pleasant experience. I finished and I remember finishing.
You remember finishing?
Yeah,
well, and that time you wish you don't, huh?
Yeah. That time was painful. It was hard. It was hard. And that was when I decided, okay, next step, you can do this, marathon.
Oh, so, straight away?
Yeah. So I was aiming for Dubai Marathon.
Okay, so...
It was 3 months later.
Let me summarize this. You have practically no really experience in racing, in running. You go run half marathon because you can. You don't remember the finish.
I trained for it.
Yeah, you trained for it. Yeah. Then a week after, because you're not happy with the result, you run another one which you feel terrible about because of all the cramps and body was just worn out. And your next thought is, let's double it and let's do full marathon.
Exactly.
How that went?
So...
No, it's just getting a little, psychological profile of your attitude towards this.
So I really think when you do this kind of stuff, you cannot be really 100% normal. I wouldn't use the word crazy. Okay,
sane. Yeah.
Sane.
You're not sane for sure.
Well, yeah, it's where we look for sanity, actually.
Yeah, I know, but you need to get there together, right?
Exactly. So that ended up being very interesting. I got injured. Because that was October, this was October. And then I did another half marathon in, if I'm not mistaken, December as part of the preparation for the marathon that was going to be end of Jan. I got injured on that last half marathon that I did, so I couldn't actually perform and go to the marathon. And then COVID happened because this was 2020.
So this was fall of 2019,
yeah,
going
then
into 2020.
COVID happened. I lost all my fitness again. Well, we all did. I couldn't run.
I didn't. I built the gym at home. So.
Well, yeah, I couldn't build a sports track at home, so I had to run up and down the stairs. So I got very good at stair climbing. Yeah.
Well, then you didn't lose your fitness.
Yes, but it's not the same. It's not specific because...
but when you say you lost your fitness, like it's not like you were on the couch and doing nothing, right?
No. Yeah. I trained through lockdown. We did all of those we all did crazy lockdown challenges. And we were very, that, probably against it.
Yeah. Well, I'm not against it if it ends up well.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like doing it out of necessity with certain background, I'm all for challenges. But I just to give you a random example which just popped into my mind also probably because you said the stairs, there is this hero workout in CrossFit which is 1,000 step-ups on the box, like a standard 24 inches for guys, 20 inches for girls. You have weight vest because hero workout, right?
Yeah.
You can't named after some guy. I can't remember the name. And you see people who, just walking could be a good start for them to just, increase their fitness, and they're trying hard, but trying hard is not always the best option, because we also should be smart about it and doing 1,000 repetitive movement up and down if the placement of the foot and
Sounds
angles.
great for business.
Yeah.
Sounds great for my business.
Yeah.
I hope they keep doing that. No, just kidding. I also got
you don't have to hope for that, because there'll be always enough people who will be hooked on these challenges. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but it should be done smartly. Like, pick up a challenge that is not completely out of reach.
Yes, I totally understand. Yeah, and I agree with you. It should be, people should be educated about it. Yeah,
you shouldn't came out of it worse than when you came in. That's the only thing.
Yes. Exactly. That's totally true.
Okay, so lockdown happened and you did all the challenges, and you're still kind of doing something, or it was very far from running form you would like to have.
Yeah. So lockdown happened. We went out of lockdown around May, June, and I thought about it. I was like, okay, so now we're gonna go back to the marathon, but I know I can do it. So what's out there that I'm not sure if I can do it? And I saw the guys from Inner Fight. Back then I was also, I knew a few of them. I knew their profile, I knew what they were doing. And I decided, okay, so I want to do that. And if I want to do that, we're not talking about a marathon, we are talking about an ultra marathon. And there's going to be a nice ultra marathon in Sri Lanka in March. So I have 6, 7, 8 months to prepare. And I'm going to reach out to them and I'm going to ask them for help, because that's what you do.
So the marathon didn't happen?
So because I knew I could do it, I wanted to be part of training. I still set up I still put on my calendar the marathon to happen in Jan, but my race would be March, Sri Lanka.
Yeah, so this for me I do a little bit of running, at least once, twice a week, but that's way more than I used to do. It was like once, twice a year before that. But now I do a little bit. But when somebody will tell me, and you are not the first one to tell me this, I also have a friend who currently lives in Switzerland, and he also had a marathon race as a prep. As a part of prep is your marathon race. That's when the shit goes serious, right? That's when there's something flipped there. When you talk about ultra marathon, where it breaks, like when you can say this is ultra race, like what are the rules for that?
So anything over a marathon is an ultra marathon. Anything.
Oh, okay.
Right. So I'm not sure if there is a rule, but anything over 45, I think officially 50 is considered ultra marathon non-stop. Okay, so it means that you have to cover 50 kilometers in one go. That's considered ultra marathon.
Do you know the original story of marathon?
The marathon.
Why it's called marathon?
Yes.
And that the guy died?
Yeah, it's fine. That's why we are stronger than him.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
See,
he wasn't expecting he will need to do it.
He decided to do a lockdown challenge a little bit harder.
Yeah.
Let's say it.
Yeah. Well, he had a strong motivation behind it, right? He was delivering a very important message. So, anyway, well, it's a great part of, but this is funny that not many people even know this. Maybe also in this part of the world, because it's part of like European history.
And there's a race there, of course, as well, to celebrate the path
he was running. Yeah. Okay, so marathon is just one stepping stone towards the ultra race. So how the prep looks at this point? Like, you reached out to the guys who were doing it like very seriously?
Yeah. So I reached out to them and I told them like, okay, so I would like to do this race. Can you help me doing this race? They interviewed me because it's very interesting. They want people that are committed to it. And so we talked, and I was assigned to train with Rob. He's still my coach at the moment. And we started. It was very interesting because I had a different mentality back then. So I was, okay, it's June, it's hot, I'm not going to start now. So I told him, okay, so we start maybe September because it's going to be a little bit better weather. And he just came to me and said, tomorrow. I'm like, what? Yeah, why not? Why do we wait for September? But in my head, it was like, it's so hot. It's going to make me running tests. It's like, it's so hard. So I'm like, yeah, sure, of course. Sounds good to me.
Fair enough.
Sounds good to me. And so we started in June, and I did my first ultra in September.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. So I did my first ultra in September. I did... was September, the end of September, where we did one event that they had called 50-50-50, where Into the Darkness, where you ride 50 kilometers bike, run 50k, and then ride 50k in the end, just to finish.
Okay, so go bike, run, bike.
Bike, run, bike, yeah. So that was my first back-to-back ultra marathon.
I actually did a similar event. Probably like divide by 10 everything. But you just reminded me this because part of my uni we had to go to this course in nature.
Yeah.
And we are doing running and this and we are supposed to be doing a triathlon. But we happened to be there when there was the last biggest flood in Europe in past I know how many decades, and big portion of that we were basically watching how the flood is hitting Europe from the pub on the TV. But we had to also do something, and it's in mountains in Czech Republic where you don't see sun for the whole time you are there because it's foggy and this it's just, I mean, it's not like dark, but the sun is like you don't see the sun there and in that time of the year. And because we were supposed to do triathlon, we were actually marked. So you had to do something to finish the course, like successfully. It's still a subject. It was considered subject at school. And we did bike, run, bike around that lake we were supposed to be also swimming in, but they didn't allow us to swim because of the conditions. But yeah, I mean, it sucks.
It's very interesting to come out of the bike where your legs are like flying.
Yeah, we were doing it like, as I said, it wasn't that long by far, so it was more intense, right? You had like maybe like 12 kilometer loop on the bike, then you were running,
just smashing the bike.
Yeah, and then you were running 5k around the lake, and then you go to the same track on the bike again. So
mental.
Yeah, well, I mean, go on because yours is like.
It's a very interesting event. I like to do it. I've done it twice, and it's it starts on sunset, and you have until sunrise to finish it. So that's the idea of it. Okay.
So it's at night?
Yeah, into the darkness. So you start at dark. So you do a loop around Alcudra cycling.
I thought it means till the darkness.
No,
through the darkness.
No, through the darkness. So you do a 50 kilometer around Alcudra, you run around the same loop, and then you cycle the same loop again in the end. It's long, but you have a lot of time to talk.
I think.
And think.
And who you were talking to?
To yourself.
Oh, all right. That's okay.
What you're talking to yourself, and you're talking to your biggest enemy, which is your inner voice, right? Most of the times, which is you're not good enough, you can't do this, you will never finish. Why you're doing this if you're not like them? All of this comes to your head, and that's the purpose of it, I believe, and that's what makes you really, really, really. Makes you stronger, and not stronger in running, but stronger in life. It's
so this is what it's giving you. Yeah, that's the purpose why you're doing it, to get to that dark place. This was literally dark place, but to get to that, to fight the demons. Yeah,
exactly. It's so we all have them. Some of us let them talk or decide more in our lives than others, but the only way you get better at it is if you're exposed to them, you get comfortable with them, right? I remember having a talk with a guy so we always think about, there's always a voice in your head saying like, stop, it's painful, and you can't do this anymore, you're too tired, you're never going to finish, you're never going to do this. But what you have to think about is, okay, one guy told me, and really interesting. It's like, so how are you going to feel in the next 10 minutes if you stop now? How are you going to feel after 1 hour if you stop now? How are you going to feel tomorrow when you stop, if you stop now? How are you going to feel in 1 year if you stop now? Do you really want to stop now? And at least never. That's something you get comfortable in listening and fighting. And okay, maybe I'm not that tired. I know it's painful, but maybe it's not that painful. You've done this before, or if you don't, you can do this a little bit more. Let's see if you have a little bit more to give. And that's also translated to life, which is, this is uncomfortable, or this is happening, this is bothering me. Is it enough to make me be mean to others, to respond bad to others? Is it enough to bother myself about this? Can I be more pacific about this situation? How you learn how to be comfortable with different situations in life, for sure.
Yeah, I think this is many times with people who are starting to train. It can be training, but the discomfort can come in many forms, right? Like I start to do ice bath way more intense than I've ever did before. Even like, I don't even know since when, but the cold showers were always part of what I did. But, you know, that's very similar thing, that you just expose yourself voluntarily to a huge discomfort.
Yep.
Yeah. Yes, ice bath is a little bit different because first of all, it takes way shorter time and the stressor is from outside. Like, you're not causing it to yourself. Yeah. But what you do, you basically every step, every stroke on the pedal, if it's on the bike, right? It's you doing it. So it's not like it's happening from outside.
But you want to finish.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So you're not doing harm to yourself. You are actually doing good to yourself, because the feeling of finishing is amazing.
I know. But what I'm saying, that compared, for example, to the ice bath, this kind of discomfort is even worse, because or could be worse.
Yeah.
It probably depends on how much you like ice or not. Right?
No. I understood it the other way.
I'm saying that because in order to finish, you need to go through that pain, and you are inflicting the pain on yourself, which makes it like a insane loop. Like, why the fuck I'm even doing this? And anybody who did ever just a little bit more intense exercise was probably mentally on that spot. Like, why I'm even doing it? But you are there for hours. Yeah,
sometimes, very long.
That's crazy. That's crazy to me. Like,
you get used to it. You enjoy it. Not always. Okay, it's a lie. What you see on social media is that everyone loves it every time. Oh my God, I love to wake up at 3 a.m. on my day off to go to train to the mountains. Like, I hate it. I want to stay at home. I want to stay in bed, of course. But not that I hate it, but because you want to do it, right? You want to do it. It's your decision. But sometimes you think like, oh, I wish I could stay home. I wish I could go out. I wish I could do that. But that I wish, as soon as you understand it's part of your decision, you think you wish, because you think you want comfort. You think you want the easy way, right? But you also want that extra, want to finish that race. You want to run well. You want to finish it well, right?
Well, that's what basically discipline is, right? That you prefer the end result.
Yeah.
Because you want that more than what you want in the moment of stopping and having that cake and this and this and
you
this.
You never have a reward for, not never, but okay. It's the reward of being negligent is immediate. But the reward of eating well, sleeping well, recovering well, training, waking up early, sacrifice a little bit of family, friends that you need their support, only comes 6 months ahead, because that's when your race is going to finish. And when you finish that race, you're already like, okay, you don't associate it with those moments, right? So then it's not because of it. So you only collect the benefits way later. So it's much easier to collect them now, which is like, okay, so I don't do it. I feel well now.
Yeah.
right?
Let me feel well now.
Let me feel well now.
Yeah.
And
but then the question would be, do you need, if you make this part of your lifestyle and you really are training, like you have this discipline of waking up and you have the routine of like what you told me today, right? Like you were training in the morning, then you went to the gym, and till now, which is pretty late, 8 p.m. now, you were at work.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So what time you woke up?
Woke up today at 4:30.
Yeah. Thank you one more time for doing this. The thing is, would that all make sense to you, even there is the race at the end of it? Like, would it make sense and would it be fulfilling enough for you as a journey only without that end race at the end?
It's always important to have an objective. Always. I think we all have an objective, right? We all have an end goal. We all have someone that we want to be. We all have someone that we want to beat, if that's the case. We always have someone that we admire. We always have some race that we want to finish. So I think that goal, even though it can be subjective, not objective by the end of the day, right? And so I want to feel that my body has no limits. And I don't want to feel limited. I live with my work is with people with limitations, and I think that plays a huge role. So I don't want to feel that my body is limited, and I don't believe nobody is limited. No one. And we are not special. I'm not special at all. I'm not special because I wake up at 4:30 a.m. to go for training and then work 8 to 9 hours and then come and do a podcast and tomorrow repeat again.
But it is special because you know how many, how many people are not doing it, right? Me including, of course. Like,
but we are not different, and that's what I want.
But it's still special. It might not be different, and I'm not saying that it's special in a way that nobody else can do it.
Exactly. That's what I mean.
They can.
100%.
But they are not doing it.
But they don't want to do it.
Yeah.
And even they say, no, I would love to run a ultramarathon. So train for the ultramarathon.
Yeah.
You don't want to go through the process because you want that, once again, you want that fast reward. It's not a fast reward. And most of the times you end up and you fail. Or in that case, you don't fail. You learn how to do it differently or more efficiently the next time.
How to do it without passing out next time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Perfect comparison.
The circle is closed.
No more jokes about that, please. I'll leave now.
Yeah. So then, because you said one interesting thing, and I'll dig into this attitude part a little bit more. You said like, you always have some kind of objective who you want to become, and let's say objective of a time or somebody you want to beat in the race or certain time you want to beat in the race. But I think these are very different because you can become who you become even without running the race at the end.
Exactly.
You know, that goal, it might be like driving you, because I have a great example. My friend and client Amy, I was preparing her for Texas Ironman.
Yep.
I believe I don't know if it's the name of the event, but it was in Texas and it was in Ironman. So, and she, because of her like work circumstances and everything, she was in Dubai and she had 8 months of dedicated time just to prepare for that. And we were hitting it very hard. We were getting, because she did half Ironman before. She knew how to do these disciplines, but her body wasn't ready to take that impact that well. And it's also some injuries were coming along and some overworn things. And I was just making sure I was taking care of that strength and conditioning in a meaning of strength mainly to make sure that she can take the beating what it will require.
Of course.
Yeah? And then because of COVID, she couldn't go. Because it was supposed to be March, April, and it got canceled and everything got locked. But it didn't change the benefits of the training. It didn't change who she became along the way.
100%. So it's who you are. 100%. It's not. It doesn't matter what you do, right? Well, actually, what you do, it's who you are, and whether it's training or whether it's working, you become the person. Well, you are the person depending on what you are doing. And
I have that on my bio in Instagram.
Yeah.
How you do anything is how you do everything.
Yeah, 100%. So, yeah, it's true. It's so here as well. So, for example, giving you the example, that race never happened. My ultramarathon canceled 1 year, canceled the year after, and I did
the one you were training for.
Yeah. So it didn't happen, and it didn't change me. I still wanted to do the distance. I changed the goal slightly, and I decided, okay, so that multi-stage is not happening, but I can still train. I can still do the race. I can still do the distance. I can still do this and that. And we changed the objective, and we decided, okay, so we're going to try and train for, another race, a smaller one, and we're going to train for 100 kilometers. That became the new objective, and that's it. You change, and that becomes part of you. You collect the benefits from the learnings and the teachings that you got on training. Yes, you don't need the end goal. It's just that reward that most people need and want, and I also want.
Now oppose even to myself what I said before, because the other question would be, if Amy at that point or you at that point didn't have that goal, would you train that hard? You know, it didn't happen eventually, but you were training with a purpose for that event, specific parameters. You knew the distances, obviously. You knew what it will take, so you were kind of going towards that, and that gave you amazing levels of fitness. However, if that kind of objective and goal is not there at the end, somewhere in the distance, even though it didn't happen eventually, would the motivation will be the same? Would it be the same, right?
Well, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I know some people. Well, I think we all have our own motivations, even if it's not objectively there. We all have our own objectives.
Even it's not like quantified.
Yeah, it's not quantified. Like, I want to run an ultramarathon, a 60 kilometers ultramarathon when I'm 60. That's my end goal. Is it too much? Is it to me? That's my goal. If I'm at 60, I'm able to run a 60K ultramarathon, no matter how I don't care. I want to be able to do that.
Yeah, you say you don't care now, and 59 you will be doing all the math.
Yeah. Until you pass out. If you're not passing out, it's not hard enough. No, it's true. Like, we all have a goal. I think it's not objectively. This is my opinion. Once again, there might be someone that doesn't share the same opinion.
Well, I'm here to ask your opinion. So.
Yeah, so I think we all have a goal. I know a lot of people that go to the gym and they just train. Just for training, right? They have one goal, which is not objectively, but they want to look good. They want to feel good on their bodies. They want to go feel comfortable without their shirt on. They want to have six packs. They want to have, or they don't want to be the way they look. That's also a goal, right? So I think everyone has a goal. Some people will translate it into a race, into an event, into one big moment. But when you reach to this type of efforts, when you reach to this type of level, or not this type, but when you become serious about it, it's who you are now. You won't stop. You say you will stop. Well, you won't stop. You'll find another addiction.
Dopamine.
You will find another addiction. It's not a run, it will be eating. If it's not eating, it will be smoking. If it's not smoking, it will be drinking. Not in my case, but in everyone's case, right? And you're always going to look for something else. Sometimes, so people that smoke, I used to smoke, and I stopped, fortunately. So we always want to look the way people smoke because they want to feel what they feel on that first cigarette, right? So,
well, I don't know.
Well,
I had a first cigarette, but I didn't feel particularly great about it. So
it's the same thing as sugar rush, right? They want to have that sugar rush that they have on that first candy. So they eat more so they can find it, but they don't find it. So they go back again. Okay, let me have another one. So maybe it's this one's going to give me that one, when it doesn't. So it then becomes a vicious circle. And it becomes
and always more
until you break that cycle.
How did you stop smoking?
I had a conversation with a friend of mine, and this was 2016. And I had a conversation. I started smoking just before going to university, just to fit in. And my whole group of friends was smoking. I was not smoking, so I have to smoke to fit in. That was there's no way I'm going to say that I enjoyed it, because I didn't. Then I
so more
enjoyed
like social pressure.
Yeah, 100%. And then I had a conversation with a friend of mine. We were on holidays. I remember this clearly. And he told me, like, it's impossible that you enjoy smoking. And I was like, well, I do enjoy smoking. And I'm like, no, it's impossible. It's impossible someone enjoys having smoke into their bodies. Your body naturally will reject it. And it's true, we cough, right? We just become tolerant to it. And we had a huge discussion about this situation, because I said, look, but no, I enjoy it. I choose how to roll my cigarette, which brand I want to take, etc. And unconsciously, I was like, maybe he's right. So the next day I woke up and I went to breakfast, and I'm like, I don't need this cigarette in the morning. So I'm not smoking it. And I was smoking again.
No shit. That's a good friend. That's a very good friend.
Yeah, he's my best man now.
Wow.
I kept him close. Yeah.
Have you, because you are also, I want to definitely talk about that more, but one, as we're touching on the addictions now.
Yep.
You ever stopped eating sugar completely?
Not completely.
Like a keto or something? No? Yes?
No. I never did it.
Because many people are saying that stop eating sugar is as hard as quit smoking, but well, I don't have the comparison for myself, so I'm still looking for somebody who did both.
No. I never stopped eating anything. I guess I had difficulties when I was younger because I was compulsive eating. Sometimes I still have now when I'm more nervous, when I'm more stressed, but I never stop anything.
Stress eating?
Yeah. Sometimes, but now I can control it a little bit better. I work with a psychologist as well, so that's easy.
Cool. And was it like serious when you were younger?
It was serious when I was very young. Then it became normal, but it was always here because it was never fixed, I guess. So now is not serious, but it affects me mentally if I do it. So I do it, but then I get stressed mentally.
Do you know what was the cause?
We're still working on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I'm actually.
So you have therapy
towards that as well.
Towards that as well.
Yes, of course. Yeah,
that's cool.
I think
it's very cool that you are aware of it. Yeah. And then you're willing to do something about it, right?
I think that's important for people to understand that that's normal. We all have issues. We all have problems. We all have stress. We all have things that we don't want to talk about it. We all have situations. We all are afraid of something. We all have that. And taking care of it and treating it is not. It's not something that people should not be talking about. It's actually something that it makes you clever. It makes you feel like you're intelligent. You're dealing with it. So whether it's smoking, eating, overeating, overrunning.
Yeah.
It's true.
It's addiction as well, right?
It's addiction. You're just making a substitution to an addiction, or maybe. Yeah.
So are you working on that as well?
On my next race, after my next race. Once again, it's who you are. It's who you are. As long as you can find the balance, which sometimes it's not easy, but it's becoming easier as well. And psychology helped me a lot. I was obsessed with training. Like if I don't train, I'm going to be in a bad shape, bad place. I'm going to be upset. I'm going to be hangry. I'm going to be anxious. And now, well, if life happens, but that came from psychology, that came with races as well. If life happens, it happens. We can't do anything about it.
That's the same thing as the pain and that the demons in the head, right?
Yeah.
They will always be there. It just matters how you deal with it.
100%.
When so what was the reason why you seeked a psychologist?
Because it got a little bit out of control.
With training?
No. When the situation got a little bit out of control, I got a little bit more anxious than I wanted. And one day I lost the control of it. And when I'm not in control, I'm very scared. And I like to be in control of everything. That's a little bit of my OCD. So I like to be in control of everything. And when I lost the control of on that day, I decided, okay, it's time to get help.
One guy and a mentor of mine, Richard, told me once that he was like, "Oh, you like control, huh? you control freak." I was like, "Well, yeah." He's like, "What about panic attacks? Because this is the thing, right? Like, you over control to a point, where you will flip, because you can't control."
100%.
So being aware of that, as you said, life is happening, shit is happening, bad stuff is happening to good people.
Yeah.
And good stuff is happening to bad people, which is what some people have a hard time understanding, right?
Yeah, it's true.
but it is. But that's this would be a very different topic. But, I find that this is a kind of a breaking point for religion a lot of times, because religion is a lot of times presented like, if you do good, only good things happens to you.
Yeah.
And, but that's not true. Like that's
no.
So be good, be kind, of course, but
expect nothing in return first.
Yeah, exactly. do it because you do it, right? I heard this analogy, like being a good person and expecting that life will be good to you is like being a vegetarian and expecting the lion won't eat you because of that.
That's true. That's very true. Yeah, it's very true. It's I can't add anything to it. Yeah, it's very true. It's you can't do it because you want a second intention, right? You do it because you want to do it. That's it. And but coming back to it a little bit, and that's where running helped me so much in who I am now. Being okay with adversity, accepting adversity, and sometimes I don't want adversity. No one wants it. No one's like it, right? We want to follow the path of least resistance and
constant growth.
Yes, yeah, exactly. I don't want any hard work, and I want to keep growing. Now, exactly. Especially now. Can I order it on Kareem? And that helps me a lot, because some days you feel great. You go out there and your training is bad and you feel bad and you feel like, oh, wow, I was not expecting this, but that's the reality. You have to face it. Okay. Accept it and work through it. What can you do now? Do it.
Yeah. Do you in that moment, like for your inner monologue, do you at that moment rather focus on, okay, well, let's just focus on the next one?
One foot in front of the other sometime. Sometimes that dialogue is quite strong, and the only thing that matters, for example, talking about my races or my runs or my training sessions, sometimes I don't want to be there. I don't want to do it. I try to understand, okay, the pain that you're feeling or the discomfort that you're feeling, is it threatening? Is it going to impact too much your next session? Are you getting injured? Is this dangerous to yourself? No, or is it just, it's discomfortable, it's painful, right?
I realized this when I came to Dubai and I started to talk to people in English language, that many people have very hard time. And I first thought that it might be a cultural thing, or just people I was encountering, but generally people have hard time distinguishing what is soreness, what is pain, and what is discomfort.
Exactly.
Like they don't know the difference. They say pain on everything.
Yeah.
I had a guy, a 13-year-old boy, on a training session, and he did some intense knee extension, like max effort in 30 seconds or something. And after second set, he was like, I'm in so much pain. Like my knee is hurting. I was like, oh shit. I was, because I'm very serious about this stuff. I'm not going to be just like, nah, don't bitch about it and go, I was like, okay, your knee is hurting. Where is it hurting? Yeah, so he showed me his quad. I was like, it's burning here. I was like,
okay.
All right, okay, next one. Now you're bitching about it.
Exactly.
So yes, so the perception is...
Yeah, it's super important. And then you have that conversation with yourself, and sometimes it's so discomfortable. And the only thing that matters is one fruit in front of the other. You're going to feel different in 5 minutes. Just hold it.
I always like to think about it also from, and it doesn't matter if it's discomfort of, again, sauna or ice bath or training, whatever discomfort, or just being on the sun and running on the sun, like that kind of, like, it's just not pleasant, right? I always try to think about it as that the pain or discomfort, or whatever we call it, that's unpleasant experience, has two elements into it. One is emotional, and one is the information, right? So I had a great teacher who told us pain, and this was on a martial art self-defense classes, so it had a different impact on us. Anyway, he said pain is only information. And it always stuck into my head. And I'm trying to play the trick on myself when I'm in there. I was like, pain is only the information. Take the information, but disregard the emotion that is coming with it.
100%.
Like just fuck it. Like, of course it's unpleasant. It's pain. It's discomfort. However, you can just disregard that to a certain degree. Of course, you can disregard that emotional part of it. It's like, okay, I can't, it's hard, whatever, heavy, cold, hot, I do it anyway. I know it's this way, but I push through anyway. So just being aware that it's not game over.
It's that's one of the biggest struggles in my profession, right? As well, it's okay. People come with me because they have pain. That's why people come to me, right? People come to me because they have pain in people. So in terms of rehab, sometimes I have a little bit of some, I wouldn't say controversial ideas, but some, let's say controversial ideas, right? So in my opinion, people come to go to the physio in my situation, my case. People go to the physio most of the times because they want me to resolve their problems, their pain. That's why they pay me. They want to make me responsible for fixing their problems or taking care of their problems, right? Most of the times. This is most of the times. A lot of people come because they want to get better, they want to recover, they want to feel better, whatever, that's different, right? 90% of the people that go to the physio, to the doctor, to the osteopath, to the chiro, to whatever they go, so make them, okay, I'm paying you so you can
fix me.
Take my problem away. I was like, no, we should not do that as healthcare professionals. This is not our job. 100%. Our job is not to make people feel better. Our job is to help people if they need to be treated, right? Or to help them.
Show them how they can feel better.
100%. Yeah. So if someone comes to you and asks, okay, I'm here, can you fix me, please? The first thing we should educate her about is that, no, I can't fix you. I can help you fix yourself. Because the only entity that's going to fix, it's your body. It's going to fix yourself. I can help it. I can manipulate some factors. I can adjust some things that can facilitate it, but I can't fix you. and we can't. And the sooner we understand that, we're going to provide better healthcare.
And also, the tricky part is that if you will explain them your approach and you will tell them that this is the way, they can find somebody who will act like they're fixing them.
But we cannot change the world.
Yeah, I know. But what I mean that if every chiro, physio, and osteopath and all the healthcare, these professionals are on the same page with it, then also people's attitude towards it would be different because they would understand that they will get the same attitude from everybody.
Yes, I agree with you.
But it's kind of, that's the challenge that you need to accept that, okay, well, they might pack their bags and go to the next door where somebody will be willing to do it the other way.
Yeah, I don't think that doing the other way it's wrong. But let's just not call it healthcare. That's a spa.
That's a
spa. People go to a spa to feel better.
Very good point.
Okay, and that's totally valid. Totally valid. 100%. I agree. I'm happy that they exist. I use them to make me feel better. But in that case, I'm paying for a service that I know I'm choosing the service.
Yeah. The intention behind it is
it's different. It's totally different, right? Because the first line. Well, I try to understand everyone. I don't blame, I don't judge. Is that they will be afraid that they don't have clients anymore. Well, we're actually going to have more clients because people will be either more active or they will go to you with a reason.
And you will always kind of have the clients that are willing to put the work in, which will make also your job more enjoyable, right?
Yeah, 100%.
I'm a little bit bummed now that Tima is not here because, oh my God, she has so many stories of this. Like, maybe you were there as well because it happened while she was still on the internship at DISC, and a guy came on a wheelchair. You know about this story?
Depending on which story is it.
Well, so there was probably more. So
we have stories in every single department. Not only, it's everywhere.
He came on a wheelchair and he was saying that there's something terribly wrong with his legs. And at the end, long story short, he was sore from training first time in his life, a couple of days before that, maybe the day before or 2 days before that. And he woke up with very sore legs because they never did any significant work. And probably some of his more fitter friends took him for his workout. He overdid it and he thought that he is just done. And it was just intense soreness in the legs.
That's educational problem. Yep. That's educational problem. It's not his fault. He doesn't know. Like, imagine not knowing anything and just woke up and you can't move your legs. You're like,
I'm not blaming him. It's just a whole.
But probably
this can even happen.
Because probably, most likely, you still have a lot of people giving that information. It's nowadays. It's so everyone is entitled to an opinion. You go online, you find opinions about everything. You want to search that soda is good for you, you're going to find that online. You're going to find someone saying that sugar is good for you. You're going to find someone that's saying smoking is good for you. You're going to find someone saying whatever it is. So you find online the information that you want to find. And you can find that. It's just the way you write it. Sugar is good for you. When? Sugar is good for you. How? For example, right? Yeah. So exercise is bad for you. When? When these people do exercise is bad for you. Well, you can find whatever you want online.
Yeah.
And because especially that everyone is entitled to an opinion nowadays, that's very dangerous. It's dangerous in healthcare, it's dangerous in politics, it's dangerous in finance, it's dangerous in all sorts of areas. And I'm happy that we have access to information. That's great. It's better than not having it. It's just.
But at least what it seems to me that because of course, technology, internet, growing, we get insane spike in access to information. But at the same time, it seems that there is same rate of decrease of critical thinking, which 100%. Would help you to kind of sort out that information, because the access to amount of information is not problem at all. That's I think over 50% of population on the earth have daily access to internet anytime they want.
I don't know the data, but that's impressive.
Yeah, well,
and I hope it increases.
Yeah, that's great. The problem is that you can also manipulate and or be manipulated with many. I'm not saying it's intentional.
People just want to help.
Yeah,
everyone just want to help, right? They want to feel helpful.
Yeah,
everyone. I think that's the basic. No one, well, not no, but even if someone is doing something bad to you, is not because of you. It's because they're going to be good to them or to someone else. I read the sentence that is very, very, I liked it a lot, which is, nothing others do is because of you. And that's true.
Not the good stuff and not the bad stuff.
Not the good stuff and not the bad stuff. No one means harm to you. They don't care. It's not because of you. They want to make themselves feel better.
Yeah.
And the sooner we understand that, it's easier, right? So I don't blame the people that give bad information or inaccurate information in social media, in websites, or that we have to be careful in what we say. It's how my information can impact others. We have to be aware of this because we don't know how it will impact others. I can tell you that exercise is bad for you, and that I'll give you an example. I had a client. She had a disc bulge. She was very young. She had she told she was having a back pain because of her disc bulge. The back was very fragile. Her core is super weak. Her legs cannot take the body weight that she has. And she came to my appointment, and I asked her a simple question. Well, okay, do you have kids? And she's like, oh, no. I'm like, oh, but you don't want to have kids? And like, no, I would love to. That's the dream. I wish I could have kids. Well, but is there anything wrong that you can't have kids? And she said, no, there's nothing wrong. But I went to the doctor, and since I have that problem on my back, he told me whenever I get pregnant, my back cannot tolerate the load and it's going to explode. So I can't get pregnant. And that was the first time that it hit me hard, that we have so much influence in other people's life just by words, that we have to be very careful.
And most likely, I would say that this was even misinterpreted.
Of course.
Like, I hope that there's no doctor who would say...
There was a doctor that said that. You ask me, did he mean any harm? No, of course, he didn't mean any harm, but he just didn't know better at that time. Or, well, I don't know, because it was her information. This was her words, so I didn't blame him. I don't have access to all the information, right? Because clients also say a lot of stuff.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That what she said might not be what he said. That was already her perception of...
That's why we have to be very careful. That's why we have to be very careful in what we say, in what we advise, and how we deal with people. Because we can really have an influence for good and for bad.
I would like to ask you more about the technicalities of your preparation and stuff. Diet?
Yeah.
What do you do? How you eat? And let's say how your diet looks like through your training, and then what you change or fine-tune as the race is coming closer.
Yeah. So I like to try everything. I like to be ready to have all kind of foods, all kind of diets. Either it's keto, vegan, meat. I don't have one diet that I would say that I follow. At the moment, during the week I'm vegan. I'm following a meal plan, so I'm vegan during the week. Whenever I need, and I feel I need a little bit of more protein, or I have it, mainly eggs or shake.
So you have a meal plan where do you have food delivered to?
Yeah. So at the moment,
do you have it because of the convenience or because you don't have to keep track of your food?
Both.
Okay.
Both.
So you're tracking calories?
I was before, but now I'm not anymore. Mm-hmm. Partly because I have the meal plan and I know in average how much I have, so it doesn't bother me anymore. And then because we tend to overeat.
So you track it through having the
through
meal
it.
plan.
Not So I know I'm not going to go way over it, because usually I got to the conclusion that I was overeating in terms of because I'm always hungry, and maybe I was not eating well. I was not having the same amount of macros that I should have. So we're always ready to eat, because when you start peaking up to the races, you start doing 80, 90, 100 kilometers a week, and plus gym. So you're always ready to eat.
Yeah,
and work. We'd work. So that is the way that I use.
This is not your job, so
Yes.
It's on top of
normal work time, stressful. So at the moment, I'm following my vegan diet during the week, because it's delivered to me. It's easier. It's handy. I have more time to train. I don't have to think about food at home. So fortunately, I can afford to do it.
Sorry to interrupt. Yeah. Did you choose the vegan intentionally?
Yes. I chose vegan intentionally because I don't feel well with the meat that we eat here in the UAE.
But as you say, if you want, I can give you some contact for a very high quality meat.
Okay, that's good, because it's not good. I think I'm not sure if it's only here, it's everywhere. I just think I don't feel well. I feel constantly bloated when I eat. So at least now I know I'm controlled. And if I have some cravings, I'll most likely not gonna order it, or because it's already there. So it's easier. It's true. It's convenience as well. Because when you get tired, you wake up, for example, today. Woke up in the morning very early, trained twice, went to work, finished here, arrived home. I'm not going to cook. I want to order something while I'm on the way home, so it arrives conveniently and fast now when I get there, and so I can go to bed. And most likely it's not going to be good food. Even if it's healthy as you wish, probably the quality of the ingredients are not great. It's going to be fast food. It's if it's ordered, it's fast food. So at least I'm more in control of that.
So when you said you trained this morning, so what was your nutrition around that? So you had a running session first?
Yeah. So at 6 a.m. we had a running session, and after that I went to the gym. Morning session. Yeah.
That's a lot. Like you did like a accessory full body session in the gym?
Yeah, full body session. I don't do heavy legs after or either. So I don't train heavy legs before or after a sprint session. And if it's a very long session, I also don't do it. So I have a program that I'm following online of strength and conditioning, more bodybuilding, functional bodybuilding, and I adapt to it through the week depending on my program. So they have a Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday program, and I adapt. Maybe sometimes I'll use the Friday on a Monday.
You have the knowledge, you know what you need.
So I can play around with it, and I know, for example, I'm not going to do heavy deadlifts before the sprint session.
Good choice.
So I might do it by the end of the week if it changes. So
but do you have gym and run every day, or that's
no,
only?
I run at the moment is a less run because I came off the race that I did in Croatia, and I needed some time off.
By the way,
well.
Congratulations to that. It was epic.
It was good. It went very good.
I was watching your
my
Instagram
dots. Tick, tick, tick,
with well, not that much, but I knew you there, so I was watching your Instagram with all the upgrades you were posting. Crazy.
Yeah, it was a good
how
race.
long was that?
It was 128 kilometers with 5,500 meter elevation. Yeah, it was...
Okay, so for people who don't know what that is, it's a
21
lot.
hours.
It's very long and it's a lot.
Yeah,
you were going up and down basically constantly, right?
Yeah, so it didn't have a lot of flats, so it was a very technical race. It was mainly up and downs, constantly. It didn't the last 20 kilometers were slightly downhill, but it was on a muddy field, so it was not.
So because that was like 3-4 weeks ago?
That was April.
April?
So, yeah.
Okay.
April, yeah.
So because of that, 5-6 weeks now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
because of that, now you have less running volume.
Yes.
and you do more gym.
So yeah, it's less running volume. I want to build back more intense muscle mass. I want to build training more focus on muscle endurance. So because then I know I can replicate that. I have the fitness to run. I have the head to run long and to suffer a little bit. So I know I can get that quite easily. Now it's very hot, so your sessions will never be super long. So what we are doing, we are focusing more on that strength-based routine, and I'm running 3 to 4 times a week. More 3 than 4.
And gym?
Gym 4 to 5. If I run 4 times a week, I'll likely do 5 times gym. If I run 4, I will do probably 4. If I run 4 or 5 times, I will probably do only 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
So more running, less gym.
Yes, or more gym, less running.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And in the gym, are you focusing specifically on muscle groups, like doing calves, doing hamstrings, or you just compound?
Yeah. So because I searched for this online programming group, it's they have some specific work for some muscle groups, but it's generally more of a squat, deadlift. It's more compound movements. And they have an accessory of Olympic lifting if you want to do it. They have an accessory of gymnastics if you want to do it. So you can play around a little bit with it as well. Yeah, it's very interesting, especially if you know what to do. Yeah. Otherwise, you can easily overdo it.
Yeah, well, that's always the case, right? And that's not what you actually need to.
Yeah, it made me so much faster and so much stronger. Yes.
How long are you following that?
Now 7 months.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah. So I've done.
They have certain cycles.
Yeah, they have cycles of 8 weeks to 10 weeks, and which they focus on each different objective. It's 3 rep max deadlift, bench press, and strength endurance.
And this is specifically programmed for runners.
No, this is the general. I sometimes adapt. For example, I know I'm loading into a big week of running, and they have 4 max reps of squat 4x4 heavy, and I'm not going to do the 4x4, or I might do the 4x4, or I do by 6x4 and I just go lighter, or I just work a little bit longer for muscle endurance, zone 3, zone 4 without reaching.
Do you work does it work with percentages or go by field type?
So you go by field, you go by reps in reserve.
Oh, nice. I love that a lot. Like I had this discussion with Tima just yesterday, like how important
your
and
rep
different
max,
it can be.
Your rep max can be 100 today and 120 tomorrow.
Exactly.
So it's rep in the reserves. That's what they use.
Just to explain for people who don't know, that basically it will give you, let's say, 5x5 squat and 2 rep buffer, which means that you do 5 squats, but you need to do it on weight where 2 more reps would be possible, but you don't do them.
Yeah, you can't do the third one.
It's also amazingly increasing the safety.
It increases the safety and increase your awareness on how hard can you work.
Yeah.
And your body awareness.
You feel how nervous system can go.
And it makes you feel like, okay, today I don't feel quite okay, and that weight should feel lighter, so you go lighter, or should feel that weight should feel lighter. It doesn't feel light, but that's the weight I'm going to use today.
Yeah, amazing. That's very cool.
Yeah.
And when you said like I wanted to ask something about the training. I blanked out now.
Talking about training, that's it. So we run Tuesdays. We usually do a track session. We always do a track session where everyone is in the track. Everyone pushes each other really well, really hard, and then we have different workouts or different trainings. Usually we go to the mountains and we do our sessions there. Other Russell came.
So you're part of running group.
Yeah, it makes things a lot easier.
That's the one from Inner Fight?
Yeah, Inner Fight.
Same running group.
Same running group, Inner Fight Endurance. Yeah, they have triathletes, running, ultra runners, all sorts of people, or sort of age, or sort of
You also
levels.
go to races together?
Yeah. So this race in Croatia, we were 4.
Nice.
Yeah, we were 4, which was very cool. having them there, and also give them. I was the least experienced, so having their experience coming to me helped me a lot. And it's always good to have someone else to talk to, or to, like, you're struggling in they're also out there, so let's just work together.
Yeah, so it wasn't like a team race that you would be going and chatting together the whole time, right?
No. We actually, I was near one of the members until the 30th kilometer, but then we just separated. It just happens.
When you do this kind of stuff, I've seen you posting about feet yesterday or today. And I was like, okay. Yes, we have to talk about this.
Yes.
Because what shoes, what footwear you using, would you recommend? And overall, like, what is your experience?
Yeah. I used Vivo Barefoot until this race. All my runs were made in Vivo Barefoot. Either road races, mountain races, training in the mountains, was always Vivo Barefoot. Until this last race, that what I felt was as I get faster and I want to go really fast downhill, the Vivo Barefoot are not enough. It's a lot of impact. Not because I'm afraid of impact, it just hurts.
Yeah.
They don't have any cushioning. They don't have any support that absorbs any impact. And the problem is not the shoe. The problem is where we run. If you we've been to Wadi Shauka. It's rocks and it's gravel. So running downhill against those rocks, it's painful.
It's like the impact on the toe going into the shoe.
It's when you go downhill, you almost breaking a little bit, right?
Oh, okay.
So imagine when you land on those rocks, and there's no support. So I felt that a lot, and I got hurt quite badly once. That I really felt, okay, this is it. I just damaged my calcaneus, also my heel. I just went running downhill very fast, and I had my heel hit the rock, and I just felt the pain up to my lower back. It was like that bony pain when you hit something.
Yeah.
And I was like, I just can't do this anymore.
So the impact went through the whole system.
It was everywhere, yeah. And so then I decided to change to Ultra. Why Ultra? Because they are still 0 drop shoe. Which means the height from heel to toe is still 0, and they have a wide toe box, so allows my foot to still move.
Yeah, I was about to ask if you used Vivos because they are thin and they replicate barefoot walking.
Yes, exactly.
Or more because of the wide tip?
No, because they simulate barefoot walking. I really believe that if we can use and max out our bodies by using it barefoot, we become stronger, and so therefore I chose Vivos because of it, and because I didn't want to have my foot tight in the shoe as well, because there are some opinions, and I share that as well, that you can decrease performance on that, so you cannot have good
by having too tight shoes,
by having rigid shoes, that you cannot propel stronger from your big toe, that you cannot use as efficiently your foot as you can if you have your foot inside of a cast. Because if you think about it, and the way I think about it is, we wouldn't wear a cast anywhere in our bodies, and we wouldn't recommend wearing a cast anywhere in our bodies, but we still find acceptable to use it in our feet. And our shoes were made to protect us from cuts, from stones, from
the skin impact.
From the skin impact, right? Not from impact itself. Because impact is your friend.
Yep. That's how you get stronger.
That's how you get stronger. And the only thing that shoes will come and make you, with more cushioning, with more everything, and I use them, once again, is hide your weaknesses. Okay, I don't like to use the word weaknesses, but I like to say, okay, if you can't run with a minimalist shoe or barefoot, you shouldn't be running at all.
Hey, same thing. I really push also my people to work out without shoes.
Yeah.
Even on the lifting, I mean, just be careful not to drop shit on your toes.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, completely barefoot or, you know, in vivos or however that is possible. But, you know, if you cannot do, it's like with a belt for deadlift, right?
100%.
If you cannot do deadlift
It's
without the belt, that means you're not supposed to do it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm not against using lifting shoes, sprinting shoes, and not at all. Look, if you can squat more efficiently with a lifting shoe, use it. But make sure you can also do it without it.
Yeah, like if, of course, talking about 1 rep max on a powerlifting competition,
use everything.
Use your belt, use
Everything.
anything, use the dress, whatever.
10 shoes, a hat, whatever you want. It's true.
But you should also be able to do it without it.
And that's what we've been compromising. And I'm not a fanatic of minimalism shoes, okay? I know when to use it, I know where to use it, and I know when not to use it, okay? I know how to make insoles. One of my first degree post universities was in learning how to make insoles. I used to make insoles, and I don't make them anymore. I think that they are very efficient if you want to change something in the body, which is the feedback, not change posture, not change whatever, because the foot is collapsed, the foot is up, the foot is down, the foot is pronated, the foot is supinated. That doesn't matter. That's not what you should be changing. You should use your insole because there's a functional problem, right? A mechanical problem, sorry, not because there's a functional problem. Because function you can treat by adapting your bodies, right?
Can you explain this more on like some real life example?
Okay, so pronating is bad. You should wear this shoe because you're a pronator, right?
Okay, pronation is curling the foot in.
Curling the foot in, right? That is the problem. It's going to lead to knee pain. That's going to lead to hip pain. That's going to lead to back pain. That's what we hear, right? Pronation is a normal movement of the body. Okay, your foot should pronate whenever you walk, run. It should happen, right? It's a normal movement of the body, and we cannot say that that's going to lead to injuries. And also, we should not prevent it to happen, because sometimes we want to change it to make it more efficient short term. That's okay, but you should not depend on it. That is the main thing I advocate. So you should not depend on anything extra outside of your body at all. Anything, whatever it is.
So rather than having a special insoles that will give you arch support and so on, in certain cases you would probably use them.
Imagine
that
that.
Too far?
Imagine. Let's say you have a client coming in, right? He has extreme foot pain. Extreme. Can an insole help? Yes, of course. Do you need a 5,000 dirhams insole? No. Go to the Chinese, put a cushion, whatever. It will feel good. Okay, that's what we want. But we don't want to say that, yes, you have your foot pain because your foot looks like this.
Because the arch is collapsed.
Because the arch is collapsed. Because the arch is this. Because the arch is that. And then people will tell me, yes, you say that because you don't have a flat foot. Well, I did. I don't have it anymore because I built strength over it. Was I able to run?
Yeah, flat foot is weak foot.
Yeah.
Basically.
Sometimes can be mechanical because that's the shape of the foot, the way of the anatomy.
Yeah, but
works.
That won't hurt.
But that won't
most
hurt.
likely.
Yeah, that won't hurt. This doesn't mean that is a problem. Anything that is out of shape, out of normality, people will blame, that's going to cause problems. No, it doesn't. Scoliosis doesn't cause any problems. Flat foot doesn't cause any problems. Knee caves in doesn't cause any problems. Does it make you more prone maybe to have a little bit of more effort in different structures? Yes, but we cannot say it causes problems. We cannot say that because we don't know that. And that's when we have healthcare based on posture and a treatment based on an assessment on a posture, and therefore the treatment is based on that, if same assessment is based on a posture, it's wrong, because we cannot say that. So if you say that someone has a scoliosis or has back pain because he has a scoliosis. So everyone with a scoliosis needs to have a back pain.
This is also a great example. I know if you've heard of this. This couple of years ago, there was this meta-analysis.
Yeah.
And they found out that 80% of people with back pain don't have anything with their discs.
Yeah.
And 80% of people with herniated discs don't have any pain.
Yes.
So you can't say one is causing the other. There might be a correlation, but
there's no causation.
But there is no direct causation.
Exactly. So the same way that we say it makes sense. Okay, it makes sense. So I have back pain. I go to the doctor. I make or physio or chiro or osteopath. I don't want to put doctors and physios on different books, okay? Because we're all the same. You go to the doctor because the doctor is the one that wants to give you, because you want MRI, right? You want to see the MRI. You do the MRI and say, you have a disc bulge. That's why you have back pain. It makes sense. Honestly, it makes sense, right? You have back pain on that side, then you find the disc bulge on that side, and it makes sense. You correlate both things. The same way you correlate, okay, let's do the surgery, there's no more pain because there's a nerve decompression, whatever, and you get better. But you still need to do the rehab, still need to do eat healthy, sleep, strengthen your body. So what fixed it?
The other thing is that the herniation probably happened because of some other underlying issue. Yes. And if you only fix it by surgery or ozone or whatever they use, it's going to come up.
It's efficient. Again. It's efficient. I understand that, but that doesn't mean it's the best way to do it.
Well, I mean, yeah, it will get them out of pain.
Yeah.
Or might get them out of pain. Might get them out of pain. But it's not going to heal it completely because it's not resolving the underlying problem. So
I like to say and I say this to all of my clients, if they all, I'm an open book, and I tell this to all of my clients, is if it's not traumatic, most likely it's not because of the area that hurts. Most likely. Because if you didn't have a trauma...
In a meaning, traumatic means that you actually hit your elbow, so it hurts your elbow.
You twisted your ankle and your ankle hurts. Okay? Yeah. Well, makes sense. It's an information that your body's going to get, that something happened out of normal. Maybe there was a disruption of some tissues. Maybe your body's sensitive now. Maybe it's more alert. So it'll give you pain on the ankle. Makes total sense. I woke up and I didn't do anything and my ankle started to hurt. Probably or most likely is not the ankle. It's a misinterpretation that it's something is happening on the ankle, right? Because there's an alert, there's an information, but most likely the problem is not the ankle. The problem is whatever. We don't know. But then therefore treat it only by addressing the ankle. It's not a solution. It's a short-term relief. Just take a painkiller.
Yeah,
it's better, right? It's the same. It's if you don't want to fix the problem, take a painkiller. Oh, but I don't want to take a painkiller. Well, so fix the problem. Which whatever it is, right? And the truth is that we don't know what it is. We don't know. Pain is multifactorial. We don't know what it is. We don't know if your back pain is due because you sit too much. We don't know that. It's probably not the sitting the problem. It's not walking. Problem is not sitting all day. It's not exposing your body to different positions. Right?
Not having impact on your skeleton.
For example, not sleeping enough, not eating enough. Let's make you responsible for that. Let's change all of this. And if that doesn't work, let's do the surgery. That's my opinion.
Yeah, it's a hard sell, right? Because that requires the effort and work. So
I sleep well at night.
I know. You do. No, you know what I mean?
Sure everyone does.
It's always when you're trying to sell or offer as a solution an effort.
Yeah.
It's going to it doesn't sound good. It's always going to be met with some resistance there. So
it's much easier to go somewhere and they're like, hey, just please fix me. And that doesn't work. Well, it might. But
I heard of cases of athletes. I don't want to say names, but it was CrossFitters or people who were CrossFitters and powerlifters, weightlifters, and because of their impact on shoulders, as an example, they were snatching a lot and they had pain, right? Which means that probably something's not right with the system, so it's not working well. So they can get through the training, they would take a pill.
Yeah.
But then, pain increases.
More pills.
And then you get to a point where you chugging pills like candies, and it still doesn't work because you only don't feel pain in the training, which is the worst part, because you can still work through the wrong tension, wrong positions, and the impact is still the same. You just don't feel it. Yeah,
100%. That came, for example, Nadal, right? Nadal now, what was it? Was it Roland Garros now? He just won now a competition. I cannot precise which one it was.
I don't know.
So Nadal just won a competition, and there came an interview saying, "You don't want to imagine how many injections I had to had on my ankle so I can play." What is the difference between that and doping?
Yeah, well, that's
the same, right? He has a limitation, and he drugs himself, so he doesn't feel anything. What tells
is it enhancing his natural performance? For sure, because
for sure. What if he was a cyclist? Because there's such big noise around it, right? It's interesting to think about these things this way.
Yeah, because you mean cyclist in a meaning if you take a painkillers you can push more because you don't feel the signals from the body?
Yeah, but for example, every winner of the Tour de France is accused of doping. Every winner.
Well, there is a big history of...
Yes. Well, yes.
Yeah, I mean...
But it's just a painkiller. What is the difference? You know what I mean? What is the difference? So...
they would probably, and now I'm not taking any side. I'm just, devil's advocate here. Yeah. They might tell you that was a local anesthetic and that's whole body.
It's a very complicated subject.
Yeah.
When it becomes to those levels, that can definitely impact performance. It's a very sensitive topic because I'm not against them. Okay, I've used a painkiller during a race of mine. I've used it. I took a Voltaren twice with a caffeine shot. I did it. And
did it help?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, it helped a lot. Was it doping? Was it not? I don't know. But you know what I mean? I'm not against it. It's just we have to understand what we are dealing with and the information that comes around it. There's always, the problem here is there's always someone willing to give them that. Is that going to make them perform better or not? We don't know.
Well, but always when we're talking about any performance enhancing drugs, whatever it is, whether it's legal, illegal, when you think about it, if people on CrossFit games or people in powerlifting, people in weightlifting, people in running can do what very talented and dedicated people in a gym can do as well, who would watch it? They always need a sensation. They always need lift more. Go faster.
Yeah.
Break the record, so...
But that should be the standard. That should be the standard, right? Your standard is who's the best, that's the standard.
Yeah, I mean, if... I always relate it to CrossFit, okay? Yeah. If you have people who are very fit because of whatever their background was, and you every day in a gym train and see guys who are very, very fit, and people in the CrossFit games are just a tiny bit fitter.
Yeah.
It's not that interesting.
I know, I understand. But there's always going to be...
The margin needs to be significant for it to be sensational.
But I think there's always going to be that. We're always going to have one or two that is going to be crazily better than others, right? Matt Fraser, he won 5 times. And he had a huge back surgery. He had spinal fusion. right? So
it was that point. They told him it's experimental. It was 50-50 if it will work or won't.
Look, so let's go back. A guy has spinal fusion. The first thing that he's told is like, you can never lift weights in your life again. Well, he won 5 times straight, back to back, the CrossFit championship, right?
Yeah,
the
and
CrossFit
he was
Games.
twice second 2 years before. He had that 5-year streak. Yeah.
So you can. I guess.
Yeah, I guess he proved it.
I guess it's proved not once. Once is lucky, right? Twice is like, debatable. 5 times it might work.
Yeah.
Will it work for everyone? We don't know. Will everyone be willing to work as hard and to suffer as hard as he does?
For sure not. It's like...
Until the next one.
Yeah, until the next one, always.
Yeah, until the next one.
There's also with Rich, right? Rich was the best.
Yeah.
He got it 4 times, but then there is a interesting comparison between two of them, right? Because I mean, it was 7 years or couple of years, almost a decade. But Matt Fraser, he came, trained, won, left.
Yeah.
Froning came, was winning,
yeah,
and is still there as a team and still winning in a teams. And you know, like for him, it wasn't like I come, prove, earn, and go.
It's who he is.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
that's
so
the same.
it's just funny. It's just interesting to see these two next to each other.
But I think we're always going to get better because we're always also going to have more information, more studies done around what is more efficient. There was a lot of experimenting back then.
Also, the technology, right? Because there was a couple of analysts saying that maybe the runners from 50, 60 years ago were not slower than the runners today, but they didn't have the surface.
Yeah.
They didn't have the information. They didn't have the training protocols. They
100%.
didn't have they didn't have, let's say, the recovery procedures. They didn't have the shoes that can run, you know, that have better adhesion. That's
where you have to use technology in your favor, right? We would never think seeing one guy breaking this 2-hour marathon. It's not official yet. It's unofficial, but Eliud Kipchoge broke the 2-hour marathon on a set up program, but he did run it sub 2. And
was there this shield in front of him?
No, it was a car. It was a car, and there were pacers that would get. So that guy ran a sub 2-hour marathon with pacers around him, but the pacers had to be substituted.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
But the guy was still there, right? Of course. He has to be there. It's mandatory. So you see, like, and he had the technology. They made the shoes just for that race. They choose the venue.
But that's the controversy.
Yes, but okay, it was not official, but it will be. Now we know it's possible.
Official. What needs to happen so
it has to be an official race.
Oh,
an official
it needs
venue.
to be in the race.
In the race, an official venue, official race, or
Well, but it's possible. Like
now we know
they
it's
showed
possible.
It's possible.
Before everyone was saying that it's humanly impossible. Well, not anymore.
So I've seen they broke some world record. I don't know if it was inline skating or skating, whatever it was. It was
speed.
It was for the speed, exactly. And they had like this whole like half moon construction built in front of a guy. The truck was pulling it, so he's in that little air bubble there, and he broke some insane. I don't know exactly what was it. Yeah,
it's crazy.
But pushing the limits always.
It's always we can always push it, and you can, and I think that translates to us as well. To it, well, I say us in a normal human beings, right? We can always do better. We can always do different. We can, if you want to, because not everyone has to be ultra runner. Not everyone has to be fit. Not everyone, or whatever you call fit, but or lift heavy or a power lifter. If you're happy with your life, yes. But if you're not, don't wish to be anything else that you're not, because you can be that. It's as simple as this for anything, and that's why I keep running, because I want to be running and I want to do that, so I'll do it. So I want to prove that, or I want to feel. I don't want to prove anything. I want to feel that I don't have any limit, and I know I can train for that, whatever it is.
I wanted to ask you about the nutrition through the race.
Yeah.
It somehow
I went
got
through.
away from it. So what do you do differently?
So
How do you feed when you run for 21
you train
hours?
your nutrition, first of all. So throughout my training session, starting now, I'm already experimenting things that didn't go as well last race. So I'm already introducing them into my training session straight away. So you have to get your body used to run and eat.
Can you be more specific on this?
Yeah. In the beginning, I was only having mainly dates for shorter runs. I don't feel well using gels, for example. Maybe if I force myself to use gels, I would feel more comfortable, because that's the easiest way, and the quantities are accurate. They are there. That's what you're going to have. Boom. Yeah. You have it. I don't feel comfortable running with gels, so I eat mainly natural foods throughout the whole race. Whichever duration at the moment until now, whichever duration it is. So now I take my own food on my backpack to most of the races. So it's going to be oat bars. I know the quantities. I know the quantities that work well. I want how many carbs I want to have per hour. I want to know how many protein I have per hour. After each amount of time, I know that I should be having more protein than carbs, because the muscle will be a little bit more depletion. And so I plan the oat bars that I still cannot make them at home. But I will try, and I will keep trying to make them at home.
Ask Tima for this. She has so much experience with this kind of stuff. She can help you for sure.
So I do that. I take date bars as well. And throughout the race, I have bananas.
Date bars is like pressed dates?
Yeah, pressed dates. Yeah, pressed date. And throughout the race, at the race venue, I have orange to help with hydration, to retain water. And I have bananas as well. And if they have, I'm ready to take potatoes, boiled potatoes, which they usually have on longer events. They have a section in the middle of the race. They have hot food.
Okay. So like when they offer it, you would take.
Yeah, I'll take it.
But
otherwise,
you're not baking it.
No. If it's too long, no, because you carry too much stuff. Yeah. And I also have. I know that there will be depending on how long it is, after a while, you just can't have anything else. Your body starts to get it. Everything is hard to go. You swallow everything, it goes out. So I take carbohydrate drinks. So it's some powders that you put on a drink, and then you have it while you have your water. Yeah.
So you have calculations on how much carbs you need per hour?
Usually in average, yes, depending on the effort.
Can you say?
Depending on the effort, I try to have I don't eat much, because I prefer to eat less every 20 minutes than to eat every half an hour, every 45 minutes, or every hour. So I try to have around 60 grams of carbs, depending on how long is the race, 60 grams of carbs per hour.
In like 3 phases?
And 3 or 4 phases. So in this race, if I was running up, which was more intense, or if I had to walk up a steep mountain, I would eat. I'll take that to eat. I'll take that time to eat while I keep moving, because there's no bouncy movements on my stomach. And my heart rate is lower, so I can tolerate better the food. My temperature is lower, so I can tolerate better. So I'll have the solids there every 15 to 20 minutes. I start eating at 15 minutes of I start my race.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I start eating when we start. When you're hungry, it's already too late.
Okay. And you have breakfast before that? Or?
I have similar kind of, you eat at least 2 hours before the race. I start eating similar types of food that I'm going to have during the race 1.5, 2 hours before the race. So my last meal is already similar kind of food that I'm going to have in the race.
In the same pace also, or that doesn't matter?
No. I just have more. I just have more. Yeah,
more at once. Yeah.
Because I start eating at 15, 20 minutes into the race, depending on how long it is. I just have it. Less quantity, because I'm going to start eating straight away. So I will have every 15, 20 minutes oats or date bars. If it's downhill and I'm going fast, I'll have the ready on my backpack the carbohydrate drinks, but I can have the calories. Well,
when you calculate, or when you say that 60 per hour, which on average would be basically 1 gram of carbs per minute.
Yeah.
That includes the drinks?
That does not... yes. So it
carb drinks.
Yeah, the carb drinks as well. So that's usually you should have between... there's a lot of studies that say different, but that's in an average.
I don't really mind studies. I'm just what you doing,
so
like from
average,
your experience.
The average that I use, because you're also not going to be in a very high heart rate, because it's going to be a long event. So you want to keep your heart rate low.
Do you know what was your average heart rate?
I think it was around 102. I can see that. 130, if I'm not mistaken.
For 21 hours?
For 21 hours.
Oh, shit.
I was working hard.
That's a lot.
120, I think it was. I'm not sure if I can see that. Let me see the 100 kilometers. I think I didn't have the heart rate on for this one because I needed to save battery on the watch.
Okay, yeah.
So I didn't have, but I might have here on this one, 30th of December. Yes, the 30th of December I have. It's loading.
What kind of race was that?
So all my races were cancelled this year and on 2021. So I signed up for 3 and they all cancelled. So I decided to finish the year on the 30th of December. I want to run 100 kilometers around the 400 meter track.
No.
Yeah.
Okay. Really?
Yes.
I heard, you know who is David Goggins, I guess.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, so he did that, right?
Average 135.
135.
Yes.
Average. How long did it take?
11 hours.
11 hours.
Yeah.
On the track.
Around the 400 meter track.
400 meter track.
Yes. 250 loops.
11 hours.
Yes.
250 loops.
250 loops.
Okay. To get the 100 kilometers.
Yeah. With stops included, the 11 hours. Yeah. With stops included for eating. For
you had pit stops there for yourself?
Yes, I had the strategy. It was quite simple. I want to run 9 kilometers. I knew that if I run 9.5 kilometers and then walk the rest until the hour and go again. And if I could do like 10 kilometers until 55 minutes, I can walk and eat more efficiently the last 5 minutes.
Don't tell me you were there on your own.
No. I had a good support. Yes.
And was somebody running with you?
Bits of it. Yes.
Oh, a couple of laps, yeah.
Yeah, bits of it.
Some enthusiasts.
There was a lot of people coming in. Actually, it was really good.
You could use it as some fundraiser or something. People would pay for this.
Yeah.
Just like look at me suffering. Oh shit! Like, that's a lot.
Yeah, that was a...
David Goggins broke his shins and foot on this.
Yeah.
The crazy story how he became who he became. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a little bit too much, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, of course, but he never was and never is training for body.
Yeah.
He's training for his mental, and
100%.
And he doesn't care what happens to body, which
yes.
I don't agree with at all. But
he's happy
as a motivation, if it works. Go for it. Okay, so this threw me off. All right, so on that race, 135 was your average. That's fine. How much protein you have on these cases, roughly?
So if everything starts to go, I don't know. That's the truth. That's honest, because I managed to keep my nutrition on point, and I was averaging maybe 5 grams per hour of protein, but after 12 hours everything just went. This is a Croatia one. Everything went. I remember I stopped at 12 hours.
You mean everything went like you puked it out? Or?
No. Everything started to be, I'll eat as much as I can whenever I can.
Okay.
Because
so like the control went.
Yeah. I lost the control, and I was putting the oat bars in my mouth. I couldn't chew it. I just spit it out. Like, it's not going to work. Let me try the carbohydrate drinks. It's getting too sweet. It's not working. Okay, so I'll eat a little bit later. Date bars.
When you said it became too sweet, like you by taste,
you can't have anything. Everything bothers you. So that's when I adopted. I actually I had at 60 kilometers, I had to stop when they had hot food, and I managed to find boiled potatoes, which I asked the lady to put it on a plastic bag. And she said, like, but do you want a plate? Like, no, serve me on the plastic bag. And she served me the boiled potatoes on a plastic bag, and I put it on my backpack, and I took it off. And I took it to continue. That was the only thing that was going in, because it would settle my stomach and would still give me the carbs that I needed to continue. So
the baked potatoes have this...
boiled potatoes, yes.
Boiled
it will
potatoes.
calm your stomach. And ginger as well. But it's very hard to find ginger in the middle of a race. Oh, can I have a ginger tea, please? Yeah, so...
You have to pre-order that.
Yeah, you have that. Okay. It was quite
delivery.
hard.
Depends where you are.
That was quite tough. So baked potatoes saved me till the rest of the race. Yeah, with bananas.
I guess you're not really fueling with fats at this.
No. It's more carbs.
Yeah. When you, for any reason?
It's just easier on the stomach and easier to digest for me, because I know what it works, so I'm gonna stick with it. I now want to depend more on bananas. That I'm still not ready for it. So I want to depend more on bananas because they always have it on the race, and I don't have to carry as much weight.
So you want to learn how to depend on them?
More or less. So I know they always have it, and they should have it. I will always be having my own, make sure I have my own food, but because in case something can happen and they don't have, but at least I don't have to carry extra. Just something happens.
Yeah.
Because I like to be in control.
So you kind of adapt to what they are offering. So your body knows.
We know in advance what they have, so I want to train with that because I can go lighter.
That's it's a very complex thing to consider, and
you need to think about that, and the hydration and the salt that you're gonna have.
How much weight do you lose?
3 kilos in that race.
3 kilos?
Yeah, 3 kilos. You don't lose it straight away.
Is that like 5% for you?
For me, it's 5%.
5%. You're around 65?
Yeah, it was 64.
64?
When I went to the race, 64, and I was 65 probably, 64, 65, always a range between that. And I came back and I was 61 and a half after 2 days of the race. Because you're depleted, you can't really eat, you can't really sleep. So over the next 3 days after, everyone thinks about what did you eat? I'm like, nothing. I arrived home and I toasted 2 slices of bread. I made scrambled eggs, and I had a slice of cheese over the bread just to eat. Carbs, fat, and protein, go to bed. And I had the slice of cheese, half of it, and I'm like, I can't have anything. Throw it out, and I went to bed. I just couldn't. I was nothing.
How long does it take you to recover from this kind of race? It's hard to tell what your full training capacity is, right? Because you train differently, depends on how close you are to the race, how far you are off the race, but like that recovery when you say like, okay, now I'm not destroyed anymore.
I felt good. If this happened this time, I felt good last 2 weeks, because I don't take it only. I was running 1 week after. So it took you a month? I was 1.5 months, 6 weeks. So I was 6 weeks.
No, 6 weeks. It was like 6 weeks ago, right?
Yeah. So no, the race was 8th of April, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, it was beginning of April.
Yeah, beginning of April. Okay, so cool. Then was it? I think it was. Well, I'm not sure.
I have no idea.
Yeah, me neither. We were dinner. We having dinner actually.
Yeah, we had the dinner week before. It was.
Yeah.
It was opening week of the Ramadan when we had the dinner. So beginning of April.
So I felt good in June. I would say June, last week of. So to run, 2 weeks ago to train. I start back to running after 1 week, maybe.
Yeah, I'm aware of it, but it doesn't mean you were feeling great.
No. I needed to run. But I didn't feel good. I felt good 2 weeks ago. 100% maybe this week.
So almost 2 months.
Because it's not only bodies. I'm talking about mindset as well.
Yeah, generally.
Yeah, just generally 1 week ago. Now, 1 week ago, I think that was 2 to 1 week ago was when I was like, yes, now I feel myself again.
It's still very...
And I'm not recovered. I think it's still... The body is not recovered 100%.
So how many races you can take like a year, like 2 a year? Like this big significant races. So I'm not talking about some funny marathon.
No. Depending on how hard you go. Marathon is a painful one.
For sure.
So I did. My training block started more intensively around August, so I can run a race in December. That was cancelled again. So that was the story of my year. All races were cancelled. So I decided to try a sub 50 kilometer max effort around Alcudra, to see what happens. Did my own race. And then 3 weeks after I did the 100 kilometers, and I should have been decreasing the intensity a little bit, but then that East Croatia race appeared, and I'm like, I want to do that one, because my goal was to then qualify for another race that I needed that qualifier. I needed to finish that one to qualify for another one in December.
So this race in Croatia
was a qualifier for another one. Yes.
And that one looks like what?
100 miles.
100 miles?
Yeah. 100.
So 160 kilometers.
Yes. That's going to be my next one.
Okay. Well, this is I don't know how much people can actually comprehend how crazy this is when, not only the performance itself, like all respect to that, but the fact that you don't have a race available because they were canceled, whatever. And then you just decide that you'll do 50 kilometer sprint in this case, right? Because you were chasing it. In your case, I think we can say you can sprint 50 kilometers in a meaning of attitude towards it.
Yes.
Or you just decide to do 100-mile test at the end of the year because, race didn't work out.
No, that was my race.
I understand.
I made it my race, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like you made it because there were no races available. Like the dedication and the hard work that you just going through so much, let's say, unnecessary trouble. Many people, because many people would be like, well, okay, so I was training for this race. It was canceled. What is the next race? And
it's not about the race, right?
Yeah.
And it doesn't.
Well, this is 100% proving that it's not about the event itself, because if you feel like racing, you just do the race for yourself. You make your own rules. And do you enjoy these more? Did you enjoy these two things that you set up yourself more just for that accomplishment feeling that you made it?
The best race I've had was definitely this last one. Mm-hmm. But in terms of enjoyment, I really liked the one on the 100 kilometers. Yeah, I really liked that. It was very interesting. I felt ready.
Do you have music in your ears?
No headphones.
No headphones.
No headphones.
Because you don't want to?
Because it's a distraction.
Well, exactly. Yeah.
No.
Wow.
Yeah,
okay.
No.
100 kilometers.
Yeah.
On the track, 400 meter track, 250 times, no headphones.
No, just you.
And
a few bunch of people that were there, sometimes talking and helping, sometimes talking and not helping, sometimes in silence and helping it a lot. And always with a smile.
Okay, what is what is a good thing to say or not say when you're saying and it wasn't helping? Or what's a bad thing to say at this when because you'll definitely figure some insanity again. So if I will come and support you, what should I not say so I don't piss you off?
So, look, it's very complicated. You go through ups and highs very fast.
So it doesn't matter what you
can
say.
do a loop and you're super happy. You can do another loop, you're sad, and you're crying, and you're screaming, and you hate life, and you do another one, and you're enjoying it again. What I say is that when you arrive, you don't know how I'm feeling, so don't say anything. When I'm ready to talk, I'll talk.
Okay.
I think that's the biggest. And don't say it's almost there. Yeah, definitely don't say you're almost finishing, and it's still like, no, I've run 80 kilometers.
It's like, hey, come on, it's first 10 minutes.
And you're telling me, I have a friend that went there, and he made it for fun, and I know it was for fun, and it didn't annoy me. But maybe if it was on another loop, it would be annoying me a lot. So I was running. I don't remember for how long. Because then times it's a little bit just, we don't know.
I would say I can imagine, but I can't.
So I did a loop and I passed by him again and he said, Joao, just to tell you, did 400 more meters. And I was like, this guy didn't tell me this right now. But it was so out of like context, right? Like, yes, you just finished another 400 meters. And I'm like, oh, no. But I laughed, He's like, okay.
Well, probably that was his intention.
Yeah, I laughed. But yeah, so I guess like after a while, if I'm not smiling straight away and I don't ask you any question, don't ask me anything. Just let me talk.
Process it.
Yeah. If you know me well, you will know when I don't want to talk. You know, like, guys, let's just shut up and let him do his own stuff. Or if you want to talk, that's fine. Perfect. You're there. I see you there. It's a great support. But move back, move forward. Let me just not listen to anything, or let me just talk, or nothing.
Does it help if somebody goes with you?
Of course it does. Of course it does. Of course, it's much easier, I would say. But then it's a mixed feelings. It's just a roller coaster of feelings that you always want someone there to help you, to give you emotional support. It's much easier. It's the same thing. You have to spend 12 hours alone in this room, right? Do you want to spend it alone or with someone? That's the same thing. Mm-hmm. But maybe halfway you just shut up. Yeah. This is the same thing.
Because what I'm thinking about, like, if I would theoretically, come and run lap or two with you.
It means so much.
And then, like, I would feel so bad that I will stop. Because, like, fuck, so what do I do? Like, one more or two more? I was like, he's going to be here for a couple of more hours, and I will just stop now.
I'm so grateful for the people that showed up. So grateful. Because you feel that they care and they wanted to be there, and it was very, 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 very. I was very happy to have them there.
Do you do any announcements for this, private event?
I told my coach, and he told some people, and I told 3-4 people of that group. But then they made it. They asked me if they could make it more like they could tell other people to go, and they say, "Yep, that's totally fine."
Okay, so it wasn't like I missed some announcement that.
No.
Okay.
I was when the year was finishing, and I decided, okay, so this was not the year that I was expecting. So let me make the year that I was expecting.
That's brilliant. Like the last shout.
Yeah, it was, and it was on the 30th of December. Yeah, it was cool.
What was your coach's thoughts on this?
Well, he's he's really straightforward. Oh wow, great, let's do it. That's it. Okay, always cool. You just say like
support him. Very good.
Yes, I found a great idea. I'm just sad I can't be there. That's what he said. That was his words. Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
When you're there, regardless which race it was, or the one you created, or some official ones. Do you go through like very strong emotions in the meaning that you are about to quit? You're like, fuck this shit, I'm done with this, why I'm even here, let's wrap it.
I would be lying if I would say that it doesn't come to your mind, even sometimes in training sessions, because you go through discomfort. Okay, I would be lying if I would say that it doesn't come to my mind. It does come to my mind, but I always try to think that I was the one signing up for this. You know, like I wanted this.
So does it come as a information, as a possibility, or like an emotional urge to stop?
Usually associated with a big emotion. Mm-hmm. Usually associated with a big emotion. When you start calculating how many hours you're left, how much suffering you are at the moment. But once again, it will change. It will go. It will become stronger, different, and it will become normal, I guess.
I mean, for me, anything you do is super impressive.
Thank you.
Don't thank me. Really, because like it's like you created your own therapy.
Exactly, that's it.
You created your own world. Of course, you share it partly, but because the pure time you spend in your head only, in the training, because it's not only on the 21-hour race. It's like every training, it's mainly you with you, right?
Fortunately, I'm surrounded by very good people that help me a lot. And one once told me, like, I'm not going to wish you good luck, because if you did the job well, you're just going to do it. And you don't need luck, because the hard part, it's not the race. The race is easy. You won a race. You dedicated months of your life to be there, right? So that's not the hard part. That's the part where you smile, where you should enjoy. You're still going to suffer, but that's the good part. That's why you worked for, right? Or not. But if you didn't, that's a different story. But the good part is the race. The bad part is waking up on your day off at 3 a.m. to be at 4:30 being in Shauka and Jebel Jays and going up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. And okay, let's go have some food. Let's go have some drinks or whatever. Let's go let's see friends. No, I cannot. I have to go to bed. Oh, but it's your only day off. Yeah, but I'm tired. I have to go to bed because I want to train. It's like, why are you training? Because I want to enjoy my race.
And
much as possible.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
You want to maximize the time you can enjoy it.
Because
is Selena okay with like that struggle of the social life? And
I really need her support, and she's the main person that helps me. Right? She's my main helper during the session. Sometimes I arrive home after work and I'm like, I'm so tired, I don't want to do this, and she just says like, your shoes are at the door, just go and don't come in, just take your stuff, you're gonna feel better when you finish. So that's great, and she supports. It's I don't run alone. I run with her all the time, because if she doesn't, at least not personally, but she's there in every single session, because she dedicates it as much as me, because she has to support me, right? She has, if she wants, and she does. So if she does, without her help, what I want to say is without her help and support, I wouldn't be doing this.
That's very cool.
That's the most, I think that's, without the family support, your friends support as well. Not only her, friends, family, but mainly her. Yes, because that's, of course.
Yeah.
She's the
closest.
She's the one she's the one more affected directly with my time, right? Mm-hmm. It's 8:00. Let's spend the evening together in a couch, just together, talk. Let's go have some food. Like, no. I'm sorry, I have to go to bed. because tomorrow I have to wake up at 3 a.m. in the morning. And she's like, sometimes it's not easy for both. But that's the huge support that I'm super, 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 super thankful. And we try to give back as much as possible whenever it's possible. And sometimes, yes, I put her in first place because home should always be first. Always. Even if you have to stop training or whatever, home is your priority. If home is not sorted, you can't do anything. So that takes a huge role. And 100%, I would say I just do the easy part. She does the hard part, which is she has to be alone as well. Not doing or accepting something that she might not understand. Or
because you making the decision and she's affected.
100%. Yeah.
Oh, thank you so much for everything what you shared. Do you have anything you want to add?
No, I'm sorry if it was too long. It was perfect.
It was perfect.
Really liked it.
How it could be short with you, you know? Everything you do is...
It takes time. Well, it's just a training session now. No, it was perfect. Thank you so much for
Thank you for finding the time.
Yeah, no. It's my pleasure. I wanted to be here.
Yeah, and we can definitely meet some other time and cover much more also from the professional side.
It will be my pleasure as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.